Now, the one thing that I notice here is in my proportions that the mouth is either too high or the distance from the mouth to the chin is too small or too large, so I have to make adjustments. Now here, for example, the upper lip is dark on both sides, but on the light side, it tends to be a little lighter, so it almost softly, doesn't contrast with the skin above it. See, underneath the chin, there's a light shade. So there's a kind of a transparency here. So I'm trying to get that lightness. But then again, I have to counter it with a light enough light here so that still looks like shade. So, right now I put down a red on the side, but that's a little too hard. So I'm going to subdue it by coming in with more of a gray. So the tone of the face turns around the side of the face. And for some reason, you probably notice, I'm going across the bone of the nose instead of going up and down. I feel it gives me a more solid feel to the nose. I mean, that's the only way I can explain it. The other way, I just had it like white streaks going all the way up and down. So I'm correcting the drawing also on the nose because I made her nose too short. So I'm lengthening it. So here I use the little alizarin crimson with the green. So it makes the shade a little bit more intense. And here I put a little more green in because I see a reflected shade there that tends to be more green than the bottom of the nose. I'd like to get the definition of the mouth a little stronger. I'd like to get the eyes a little more correct. And it's a problem because sometimes working detail is not the answer. There's a more general answer that the shapes in general have to be more correct. See, by also making the face wider, I tend to get a little more of the roundness of her face. So I widen this area here from the eye to the ear. Here over here in the ear, I'm using a little blue because in some ways it's a little cooler or lighter than the side of the face. So I must say, I mean, there is a certain expression that I'm trying to go for. You know, the way her head is tilted a little bit and she is looking off like this and her eyes are not totally open. So there's a kind of expression in that look of the eye that is, I find interesting, very characteristic of her. See here, there's that that sort of silvery highlight in her lid, and this is something that I usually try and talk about in teaching, because it's the idea that the lid is not going like a horizontal line, but is more of a area like a round ball. So you have the highlight in that one spot. And this will give more the impression of the total round ball of the eye in a socket.
Is that why your brush strokes are vertical rather than horizontal?
Sometimes, yes, to get the side. Also to get the feel that there's the tone going through here. I still may come across with a slight tone for the lid of the eye, or the shade of the eyelid in the eye.
a lot of the mixing on the canvas?
What?
Do you do a lot of mixing on the canvas?
A lot of what missing?
Mixing the color on the
Oh,
canvas?
sometimes, yeah. When I put it down and it's wet on wet, it's going to mix a little bit. So I have to determine how much I want to mix it. If I put it on heavy, it mixes a lot. If I put it on light, it blends differently. You know, there are different things that are going to happen. And sometimes I anticipate, but a lot of times I'm experimenting.
It's a good stopping point.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it, that's it. Thank you very much.